Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man. Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. We're coming off a Dubski over BENEDICT to end our season, but we're not in the playoffs. The off season's here. Free agency, draft, rebuilding the football team, drinking that Kool-Aid. You guys know what it is. Drink it in, man. Piping hot, double sides of cornbread.
Cornbread! Cornbread!
And I'm here to talk all about it with the one and only at Chops in the D. Choppy Chop, you're here. We got so much to get into. Coming off a win, still disappointed. How you doing, buddy?
Okri, great intro to the show as always. And you know, like I gotta stretch my back a little bit here because dang, my arms and my shoulders are getting real sore from carrying around these two championship belts from the hashtag DKC Sleeper League. Woo! And you know that Reality Sports Online, RFL, Choppy Atlanta Falcons, double champs, 2 leagues, 2 big dubs. And so, you know, the back and, you know, those belts are heavy, man. You got to carry those things around for a full season and it feels so good. But
yeah, I understand. I got it in my head, dude.
That's right, Beetlejuice. All joking aside, great to be back on the show together, buddy. I know we knock out these solo shows and, you know, I think we keep the people entertained when we go just solo. But man, we get both of these cats on the mic and you know we're going to drop some fire. You know we're going to serve them some Kool-Aid. You know we're going to hit you with the cornbread and we're going to have a damn good time.
Chops, do I need to do a disclaimer for the people? Like, you talked about it on your packet. You talked about it on the show. You brought it up a week ago. I gave you... Are you going to bring up these fantasy dubs every show all year long, all the time? You won. We got it. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's a little much, buddy, but we're here to talk about those lines. And like, Chops, before we even get into it, we really don't have time to mess around, but like, I think we're here to hype people up, serve up Kool-Aid, get people excited, do our thing, because I was astonished by the amount of people that were throwing out a 3-letter acronym. We're talking about draft pick position. We're saying we should have lost. We should set these people down. We don't know what we're doing. We cost us this. We cost us that. Like, can we get into this Bears gimmick review? Because our team came out to play. We showed up big against a division rival, against BENEDICT. And to me, it speaks to this team's mentality that we all fell in love with. We play to win. We show up to compete. We are going to beat you down and find a way to get you at the buzzer. And that's what they did. There was so much from this game that I enjoyed watching, that I loved, and that's positive and going to be fun to talk about before we get into this. I've said this before, but this might be the most important and exciting offseason of all time for the Detroit Lions. So I'm fired up, if you can't tell.
Yeah, okay. I think this is the biggest offseason for the Lions since that fateful day where they announced that that rocket scientist of a coach and that other bumski of a GM were let go and we were moving on to bigger and better things. Absolutely. the Twitterverse is crazy, dude. These Lions fans, and I think, again, I'll go back to, and I hate to keep banging this drum, but it's like, it's all stirred up by the local media, the radio talking heads, the shows in the afternoon and the morning, and blah, blah. Like, anybody that wanted to lose this game so we could get, what, a single better pick? Like, you were going to get 16 instead of 17. You were maybe going to get 14 instead of 17. Like, whoop-de-doo, Basil. You know that Brad, always open for business, almost probably ain't even going to pick there anyway, because he's going to be doing some finagling and moving up, and moving back, and moving everywhere else. So who cares if it's 14, 12, 17? I mean, you're still not talking top 10. So anywhere in that range of 12 to 20, I don't care, because we're going to pick the best dang football player that we can possibly get. And for anybody who was like, oh, we should have lost. No. That is boola crap mindset. Win every game. You play to win the game, okay? That's what we do.
Everybody's in.
I couldn't agree with you more. And like, you're hearing this from Oakrey, the guy that is in the DKC archives, talking about what are we winning meaningless games for to lose draft position. You know what that was? When we were picking top pick, third, fifth, eighth. Yes, a lot more important when you're the New York Giants and you go from first to fifth because you won a meaningless ball game. That would have me upset. Middle of the draft, guys that are like anywhere from 12 to 25 is basically the same. And like you said, we're going to be wheeling and dealing. No, I'm not worried about that. And let's talk about this dub, Chop, because I know you did the whole review, so I won't go through it again. But like, 2 Jakey Bates field goals, then a touchdown by the multi-dimensional, positionless. I heard you try to do it on your solo. You didn't do it half as good as this. Elite weapon, Jahmyr Gibbs. You don't do Gibbs very well either, like I do. Like, what a touchdown. And has your boy Oakrey been saying throw him the football for years? Have you been saying run him on angle routes all day against the linebackers? When the few times they do it, every time the guy's roasted, toasted, extra crispy, that's a touchdown. Then we got Jake Bates with another field goal. As you would say, whoop-de-doo, Basil. 2 late touchdowns by Chicago. And then a buzzer beater, Jake Bates, 42-yarder. Send you home. Chicago, I got 2 words for you. Easy dub. That's 2 for the Lions. How do you like that review, Choppy?
No, it's a perfect review, man. It took me 9 minutes to break that stuff down on the Kool-Aid packet, and you just knocked it out in about 1:30. So nicely done by the host.
Thank you.
We'll get the golf clap for you there. And yeah, absolutely. Like how good does it feel to make what Chicago ended the season with like a 2 or 3 game losing streak?
3.
Fantastic. Why? That's exactly what we wanted to do. Oh, you want to put Benedict Johnson into the ground. You want him feeling regret, leaving the team, going to an in-division rival. Like, of course, I want to beat them every flipping time. I want to beat the Bears. FTB every time.
And the way they did it, here, I actually have another. I'm going to pull this up while we're talking. I got a little surprise for you, Choppy. But I'm looking at our stats here. I mean, Gibbs on the ground, 19 carries, 80 yards. What about your boy, our boy, everybody's boy, Amon Ra? 11 for 130. But he didn't score a touchdown. I don't care. He dominated that football game. How about a pass rusher that you guys have heard of on this show?
Unleash Hutch.
Did you hear the music during this game or what? Dan freaking Campbell was ready to unleash Hutch.
Unleash Hutch. I'm ready to unleash Hutch.
And oh, by the way, Revord, a.k.a. Jack Campbell, the corn-fed, belt-buckle-wearing, no-haircut having, country mule. Jack Campbell had 11 tackles, was smacking people in the mouth, making plays all over the football field. I loved everything about it. Choppy, I'm going to give you I'm going to throw it back to you while I find this, and then I got a little surprise for you. So, all our players balled out. We dominated this football game. We won at the buzzer. Like, what a great way to end the season. I was fired up more than I probably even should have been, as you could tell.
Yeah, it was a great win, man. I mean, like you said, we dominated. We had 2 drives that they capitalized on at the end of the game there, and it really didn't matter because when the chips were down and when we needed a drive, Jared Goff put together a drive to get us into field goal range. And and again, it's just every week I feel like we say it's like, ho hum, Amon-Ra, 120 plus 10 catches. Like, the dude is just like a freaking animal. Like, constantly getting anywhere from 9 to 13 catches, constantly getting 90 to 140 yards. I saw something the other day, like, I think most receptions in his first four seasons, like, in NFL history by this guy. Like, he's just a machine. So, and I know people were down on him. Oh, his drops. He's had more drops this year than all the past 3 years combined. He still had how many catches? I don't have it right in front of me here, but I do have it right in front of me.
Again.
117 receptions for 1,400 yards. And let's talk about J-Mo. J-Mo, he had 3 games where he had less than 40 yards. The dude topped 1,100 yards and over 100 targets and 65 receptions.
And they still don't use him enough. Like, it's incredible what they're doing. Chops, I found this. You want to hear this? This is a text from Wagner. You want to hear this?
Oh, my buddy Wags? Yeah, let's hear it, buddy. It's a nice little surprise here.
Normally you're upset, but I think you're going to like this one. I'm going to read this one at the very end of our text exchange throughout the football game. I'll give Goff his flowers this season. Bad O-line, limited run game at times, a ton of pressures, multiple play callers, and he still finishes top 3 in every quarterback category that matters. There you go. The guy that's been asking about Pilates, been saying how much does he bench. He's killing him every day. This is the same guy that was texting me shaky Jakey when Mr. Bates missed the field goal, which then I responded with Jake mistakes, even though everybody knows I rep him. We had a nice exchange too about how we like Rocky Sin. And then to me say, man, Jared Goff is dealing, he's balling, he's playing great football. And then for Wagner of all people to send a text like that, we were feeling good on Sunday in Chicago.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Like, he's right he's spot on, man. I'm Ford. Just like another, like, the thing that pisses me off is you've got all these different quarterbacks that at different times of the season get love. Like, remember when people were talking about Baker Mayfield for MVP in like week 9, and then it moved on. Who was the next hotness? Matthew Stafford. He should be the MVP. Blah, blah, and then toted that for 4, 5, 6 weeks. And guess what? Jared Goff just quietly, slowly, no fanfare, no 68% completion rate. 578 attempts, 393 completions, 5,400 yards, 34 tugs, and 8 interceptions, 4 of which were from one game. Like, and again, the guy was sacked 38 times. So, he just is a professional, man. He's a pro, and kudos to Wag. Kudos.
Oh boy. Can I sum up your take just there in 3 sound bites? Can I do that? I don't know why you didn't give me time to get to these when you said what you said, but can I do this?
Well, I got to get my rant out, and then you hit the sound bites. That's how we do around here, Oak.
I'm like, that's Baker Mayfield right there. Baker. Yeah. I just want to let you know. He sucks, okay? Yeah, there you go. Mark it down.
That's right.
Mark it down.
I think you're...
Hold on, and then your favorite to cap it off.
I don't want your bula support when it comes to Jared Goff. You don't get to join the Goff train. You're off, bro. You're off.
So chop.
I don't care what happens for the rest of the show. You just made my night, Oakley. Thank you, buddy. Those are great 3 drops.
Those 3 drops summarize what you said. But before we move on, I want to know from you, the hashtag conductor of the Goff train, is Wagner allowed on?
Ooh, I don't know, man. He was also the one talking about can he bench 250, and when was the last time that he did a sit up? Can he even do a pull up? So he may be trying to edge his way onto the golf train. Maybe he's hanging out in the back of the caboose. You've moved up like 2 cars, so Wags is still maybe at the back of the train. I may give him a ticket. We'll see how it happens in 2026.
Oh, perfect answer. That's what I was hoping for. So you got people out there going, ragging on the team because we let the Bears come back. Did you see Chicago's fans, throwing babies in the air like they had won the Super Bowl, or hooting and hollering late in this football game? It's we whooped you for 3.5 quarters, right? You made a couple late plays. Congratulations. A couple faulty 2-point conversions. The fact that they got all happy, oh, here we go, we'll win again. You got the announcers talking about, oh, they do this all the time. They love getting down by 2 scores only to come back. And then for us to just slap them across the mouth and take the game, made it so much better. Take that, Benedict and company. It was a reversal of everything that they've fallen in love with this year, and a little preview of what's about to happen to them in the playoffs, which they shouldn't be in, where the Lions should be. Let's be honest.
Yeah. They had a super weak schedule. You want to talk about contenders and pretenders. I don't see the Bears even making it past the first round of the playoffs from the 2 seed.
Nope.
So, and how great is it going to be when Matt LaFleur, and again, I dislike Matt LaFleur just about as much as everybody, when he goes up to that podium and goes, oh, wasn't that Ben Johnson that talked about enjoying beating me twice a year? How do you like them apples in the playoffs?
Oh, that would be so good. And then there's so much to get into. We don't even need to go over it. But the whole, why do you guys hate Benedict? What did he do? He went to division rival, put up a lucky cloverleaf season in his first year, and thinks he's God's gift of football. That's what he did. And we had a down season, which hasn't happened in 3 years here. We've had the time of our life, and everyone's riding us off oh, those Lions, those fun-looking Lions, great back where you came from. We had a down year. Every NFL team rides the roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, and then you're down a couple years. And so we were down. We missed the playoffs. We didn't play good enough to get in. Let's be honest. But now the job is to not only retool. We got a coach. I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Dan freaking Campbell, who's not happy, who's making changes. He's upset. I'm a little upset with my boy Brad. Used to be always open for business. Holmes, where you been? I haven't heard or seen this man in about 8 months. Hello, Brad Holmes, are you there? Are you out there anywhere? Dude gets to do one press conference, I think, on Thursday, and then go back into his cave. Isn't this the same dude that had the receipts and was coming out firing in his jumpsuit and laughing at people, and we got the red eye meme out there? Where's that guy? Because I want to see a guy that comes out firing, a guy that says, we're not taking this lying down, pun intended. We're not going to deal with this bleep. We're coming out to put a football team out. We're going to make this city proud, and we're going for championships. We're not trying to make the playoffs. We're not allowing ourselves to be not even in the playoffs. That's unacceptable. He needs to come out with some jive, top-end, elite GM talk, and then back it up with moves and big moves this offseason, not this resign a couple of our own guys and then blame everything on injuries. Are you with me?
Oh, I'm with you, man. Before I give you my response on Brad used to be open for business, Holmes, I got to tell you a little story here when you bring up Benedict. It's Monday morning. I'm in the dentist office, and I'm sitting there yucking it up with the dentist. And she goes, I just don't know how we're supposed to feel about Ben Johnson. We loved him, and now we're supposed to hate him. And I don't know. And Oker, you can only envision. I almost jumped out of that chair and go, you hate him. You're supposed to hate him. You call him Benedict. You kick him in the Johnson. You don't like this guy. What are you talking about? The guy's a turncoat, bleepity bleep, leaves the team, goes to in division. I freaking went off. And then 2 minutes later, she came at me with a needle and a drill, and I probably should have chosen my words a little careful. So it was, I think she took the rant out on Choppy's poor tooth, but
she got that scraper out after that take. She was like, "Hey, it's time to scrub the back teeth. Let me get out that sharp, curvy instrument and go to town."
Oh, it was even worse because it was actually a repair. So she was like, "Let's get out the needle and the numbing thing. You're not going to be able to feel your whole face. Now here's the drill." So
I was wondering when this discussion was happening.
The people would appreciate that.
Because I hate the dentist when they put the thing in your mouth, and you got the suction tube, and then they start having a conversation. It's like, I'm a little stuck here with you. Your tube is in my mouth. You got 8 utensils. You got your stupid glasses on. I'm upside down, basically, and you're sitting here asking me, how's my weekend? What am I doing? How are things? It's just like, just do whatever you got to do so I can get out of here, dentist person. And by the way,
how am I supposed to give you a full recap of the Detroit Lions beatdown of Chicago when I can't even move my face or my tongue? It's like, no, I can't give you the break. I can't give you the stats. I may or may not have handed out a couple of business cards that had the Kool-Aid packet link on it, but it was pretty funny. But to get back on topic, I thought the people would like that, but. You're dang straight on Brad Holmes, and you know what? It's almost like I'm waiting for the day. It'll probably be on the ticket later here, where some boola nonsense dude's gonna come out and go, "Hey, do you remember when Brad Holmes fired off all those receipts? Well, how are those receipts now? Because what did you do? You put people in their place, and then you didn't back it up. So where are those receipts now, Brad Holmes?" And you know what? Might have a point there because he did not back it up. We did not perform. And, I don't know. He's going to have to kick it into gear. And I really, really hope that they slightly modify their mindset. We've got, of course, we've always been building through the trenches. We've got the grit mentality, but they have to, at some point in time, decide we're all in. We're going for it. Like, none of this tinkering around. I'm not saying, go absolutely bananas, like all in, and then it's going to completely destroy you if it doesn't work out. But if you historically look at teams that are built through the draft, then they make bold moves that then keep them sustainable. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't just blow them up for the next year. Those are the kind of moves that Brad Holmes has to make this year. And I don't necessarily want to say this position or that position or this guy or that guy. There's going to be guys out there, but Brad's got to get bold.
Yes, sir.
Chops, I have so many thoughts. I think we need to take a pause for the cause. We went 25 minutes. It feels like 2. We've entertained. We've hyped the people up. For anybody that's trying to use their analytical brain and think we should have done this, we should have lost this, well, we didn't win anything. Okri, why are you so excited? Because we beat Benedict twice. Because we went to Chicago and won. Because our team looked like our team again. That's why. And then I'm very hyped about this off season. I think we're going to take a pause. No, we're not going to come back and give you 25 minutes of in-depth draft content with free agent targets. We're not going to do that yet, but that will happen at some point. But we will talk about what are we going to do this offseason? What is the approach? How are we going to get this thing not only turned back around, but amped up for 2026, 2027, where we do get to the top of the mountain and win when lots of other people, not the loyal, diehard Detroit Kool-Aid drinkers, are talking about how we're going to fall. We're never going to be good again. We missed our window. None of that's true. Everybody, we'll talk all about that when we come back.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now. Kool-Aid drinkers, we're back. Thank you so much for checking out the show, repping the show, sharing the show, being all about the show. Now, I know if I pause for a second or throw it back to Choppy Chop, he's going to be like, hey, Oakley, did you know I won the DKC Fantasy League? Hey, how about that undefeated? You know, he's going to remind, like, we don't already know. You talk about it every time I unmute your microphone, but, like, I just want the people to know that, like, I almost didn't plan to be this fired up on the show, but, like, I'm so excited about this. I'm not excited how the season ended. We lost to Pittsburgh. We lost to Minnesota with a quarterback I've never even heard of that threw for 30 yards. Inexcusable. We had multiple other losses that were inexcusable. But to play the way they did, to beat Chicago, to have a mid-round draft pick, to have free agent money, to have our vets retool, to have everybody pissed off and coming back. Like, I guess I'm just like so excited. It goes back to the days where every year it was like, well, wait till next year. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's like, now I feel like wait till next year. Yet I already know we have a damn good team top to bottom. So I'm fired up, Chops. We got plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. But that's why I'm serving up so much Kool-Aid and so positive after such a disappointing season in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, Okri. I mean, it's going to be, it's one of those shows where it's like, you know, it's kind of the intro to the off season. So, you know, of course, the first thing that people start talking about are the drafts. And, you know, you're already talking, oh, hey, I saw a ranking 32 player ranking. And I'm like, guys, people still are like withdrawing their eligibility to the NFL to go back to their college teams right now. So, still a little bit early, you know, like you said, the DTO scouting office, I'm sure will use some work. The choppy, you know, I don't, it's not anything official here, but, you know, I got to start working on my mock drafts. I got to look at my positions. But before we really dive into the draft stuff, man, like I'm actually kind of excited. I read a few articles. I've looked at some things about like the potential for us to like clear up some nice cap space, man. Like we're carrying over, we're carrying over like $22 million in cap from the 2025 season. So right off the bat, you're looking at some nice money there. Brad Holmes kept the wallet the nice and tight. Didn't open up the purse strings to feed anybody, but you know, so there's just so much to get into, man. The off season it sucks that it's here this early, but I am excited because I think that there's some real potential for the Lions to make some big moves in 2026.
Chops, is your quarterback, has he scratched that check for about $40 million coming back our way this offseason in some type of fugazi NFL discount, maybe a felonious one, if you ask me?
No, that's felonious. It's felonious.
Is he gonna randomly give back $40 million, yet we're gonna pay him $40 million now, and he's still gonna make $60-80 million, but he's gonna play well, so I'm not gonna care. Yet the money's funny money, as you say. So I don't know what's going on with the cap, but I know him, and based on the way that AKA Honey Bun, AKA Twinkle Toes, AKA didn't play this year, I'm looking for a clearance rack give back from him too. and then hoping other high-paid players can send a little bit back so we can really beef it up. No, I'm not like that show on 97.1 in the afternoons who dreamed up, well, if this guy gives back 20 million, this guy does 40 million, and you cut this guy, and this guy retires. Next thing you know, you got 120 million. No, that was a horrible take. That's just garbage talk from these people that don't know ball, that think they know ball and try to talk you into it. We're not going to end up with 120 million and be the top team in cap space. But yes, we can retool some big numbers like, I don't know, Jared Goff and start doing some damage. So has your boy done that yet or what?
Nah, I think that's in the works there, but you also got to factor in the way he was talking, it sounds like Taylor Decker is going to ride off into the sunset too, and you're looking at his 2026 cap hit was $21 million, and I think the dead number is only 9, so... if he retires, you end up saving a bunch of money there. Jared Goff's going to do right by Detroit to get players around him. He can restructure. I read something, too, that Penny may actually have a clause that kicks into his contract deal that he can restructure and stretch that out for another year or two and make his cap hit number like in half. So, there's going to be some stuff that happens here over the next couple of weeks. And it's just going to open it up. No, we're not going to have $100 million out there, but... And then, then you start talking about what are we going to do with that money? Are we going to start paying our own? Because we know that there's some guys that they may not be free agents this year, but they may be on the last year of their, the final year of their rookie deal. They need to get Piz aid. I'm looking at Ja. I'm looking at, my boy, Brian Branch. And maybe the Laporta supporters want to get a little wallet support as well.
It's all about that money. But before we even get to some of that and who people love about the draft and why I should be so excited, like you forgot that Brad Holmes just picked studs everywhere in rounds 1, 2, not so much in rounds 3 or 4 because he normally trades those away. Finds some projects in 5 and 6, 7. He'll find you a diamond every now and again too. But it's like, what's going on with, like, not only the coaching staff choppy, we've got Johnny Moe, who's gots to go out the door, faux show. Like, he gone, probably because he standed up at the podium every week and said, that's pretty cool, man. Like, okay, good take, Johnny Moe. Like, what are you going to do to actually score points? Or why did you lose your job? This is pretty cool being here, man. Okay. So we'll see ya. So he's gone. Like, what was your thoughts on that move? You got Shep. Did you like what he did defensively? And then you got our boy Dan freaking Campbell with the Mother Goose glasses calling plays. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Mr. Fourth Down decides kick field goals. Then we start winning. Like, where you at with all of our coaching movement as well as that side of the coin?
Yeah, that's a huge one, man. And I think maybe for a packet this week, upcoming, or maybe next week, we'll dive into like off-season priorities when it comes to stuff like that. But I mean, to me, like, just kind of rapid fire. Peace, Johnny Moe. Don't let the dough hit you on the way out because you didn't do anything for me this year. I absolutely cannot have Dan Campbell calling plays in 2026. I need him to be doing his alpha male, hyping up the people, grit, like focusing on, clock man, all the other things that a head coach needs to be doing, not calling plays because it didn't go well. Yes, he's going to want to have a finger in it. Yes, he's going to want to have the ultimate hit the red button trigger that, they supposedly gave to Jared Goff to call up and switch plays and make changes on the fly, which after reading the defense, which he does so well. But Dan Campbell, bro, you can't call plays next year, in my opinion. And, there's been a lot of big changes in the NFL over these last 3 days. So, I don't know if you want to get into like names you love at OC because there's a lot of them out there. But before we do that, Shep, to me, I think Shep did what Shep needed to do. I'm going to refer to him as Shep over and over again. I'm going to see how many times I can say Shep in this take. But you can't blame Shep for all the injuries. and he dealt with the Legion of Whom, and he put, Shep put those people in good positions. There were times that Shep was able to shut teams down, a la the Bears. I think, we actually defense dominated the Viking as well, other than a few select drives. But Shep did well enough for Shep to keep his job in 2026.
Oh, Chops, I'm actually surprised by... I'm surprised yet kind of in agreement about Dan freaking Campbell, because it's like, I want him to flex and, spit his chew out and do all the other stuff that Dan Campbell does. He's an absolutely alpha male that's smarter than anyone else. They just don't know it. But I think he did not only things nice offensively, it's almost to the point where, like, he knows our players and stuff well enough that, like, you go to some other dweeb, like, don't give me some wimp that comes in here is talk about what they can draw up on the grease board. They're going to have to, it's going to be a hard mix between, like, you got to be a hard ass that runs the football and has grit and does all that as an offensive coordinator, but you got to be kind of a California, who cares, everything's all good if you're going to get along with Jared Goff and company when it comes to, the baby and the quarterback. So it's like, I don't even have any names in mind, but I feel like Dan Campbell might be that dude if nobody else jumps out to me. And don't give me these, we're going to bring in McDaniels as our running backs coach, and we're going to bring in Cliff Kingsbury as our passing game coordinator, and by the way, Kevin Stefanski is going to be our OC. Like, that's Dream World, and I don't even love all those guys anyway. Those aren't Detroit type of guys. Those aren't Lions coaches. Those are just big name whoop-de-doo people that you heard about 5 years ago that did good in these lower roles that now you're going to bring some super team over here. That's not going to happen. Like, what do you think, you're going to get John Harbaugh as your special teams coach? No, that's ridiculous. So just get out of here with all those ideas like that. But if you find the right guy... My thing is, like, let's be honest, Dan Campbell hasn't been very good with finding the right guy. He gets a guy and talks him up, and they say all these fake things, and then 3 weeks in, he kicks him out the door and does it himself. So it's like, I don't even know who it is, but I think they got to get that right. I'm okay with Shep, just because he does bring that physicality, is young, he does love the game, his players seem to love him, so he's got all that going for him. It's almost like draft picks, Jobby. You know how back in the day I used to talk about height, weight, speed, athletes, this, that. What do I talk about every year now? Character. How tough are they? How much do they love football? Like, what are they tough enough to play on this type of team? Like, that's really what matters, not all this peripheral stuff that people look into. So that's where I'm at, kind of with not only our coaching staff, but what it's going to take to get us back over the hump here.
Yeah, my only counter, and the thing where I think you and I probably disagree on, is I feel like Dan Campbell brings enough grit and alpha to the team that I'm actually okay if we get like a more reserved, nerdy offensive coordinator that can just draw things up like crazy. Because if you think about all these weapons that this guy has, if you've got a guy that can be creative and still be aggressive, still have great plays on fourth down that we're going to go for, so much more than anybody else. Like, I actually kind of want a guy that's a little more, I hate to sort of geeky, but just draw stuff up. Someone who can get along well with Jared Goff, like you mentioned. But I want to see some creativity out of this offense. Like, and again, like, it goes back to, like you said it earlier, how many times are we screaming for Jahmyr Gibbs to get the ball lined up as a wideout with a short flat? Like, constantly for the last 3 seasons we've been calling for it. It didn't happen until a little bit here at the end. I want a guy who's going to be able to go, I know Jahmyr Gibbs. I know David Montgomery. I know Mamon Ra. I know #JMO. I know Vanilla Smooth. I know the Laporta. I know Brock Wright. I know, like, I want to be able to use all these guys and create all this madness that defenses are going to be scratching their head going, holy crap, like, maybe Amon Ra doesn't get the ball 12 times a game. Maybe, God forbid, JMO gets the ball 6 times or 7. Like, I want somebody who's going to come in and be cerebral about using all these elite weapons all over the field.
Chops, I was about to browbeat you for some of your lack of, gimmickatry or just skipping over some of the classics or not being able to do them so well. But based on your take itself, I will do a rare thing on the show, which I will agree with you. I'm fine with that. If they get somebody that can do all those things and doesn't want to punch people or wrestle somebody in an MMA fight, like, I am good with that. But I do think that being able to blend in and not having to start over and not having to say, oh, this guy's doing great this off season, and then when the bullets start flying, we realize that they're not as good as we thought they were back in shorts and t-shirts type of time, is important. So I'm just hesitant, I guess, to add, especially I'm caught between Dan Campbell hiring his people that he likes that haven't worked out versus would he or would they go get somebody that they know not at all, but that like has everything you just talked about. Smart, dynamic, innovative, exciting, gonna do this, gonna do that, and they have no relationship with them and it's don't work. So who's the guy that they have a relationship with but that is young, smart, innovative, exciting? Like, that's who we need to find when it comes to coordinators. But Chops, on the back part of the show, I do want to get to the, like I said, we don't have our free agent list, but are you in the mode of, come on, man, like, let's go shopping a little bit, please? Like, you saw the New England Patriots go from terrible. I mean, Charles was here he could be here every week talking about that team last year.
That's terrible.
And then they spend $100 million in cap space on old vet free agents or mid-tier guys that nobody wanted. They get a couple nice draft picks, and this team's like, what, the 2 seed? So it's like, it can only change quickly, but you're going to have to crowbar open Brad Holmes' wallet. You're going to have another stellar draft. Don't give me some 5th round, we took this guy no one's ever heard of, he's going to be great, just trust me type pick. Both those things have to change. And then the funny thing I've been hearing from radio people and non-Kool-Aid drinkers are like, I think this year is going to be the year that they do everything they've never done before. Brad Holmes is going to draft for need, and they're going to go out and spend money. It's like, we're kind of asking them to do that, but I guess that's not my expectation based on their track record. So what's it going to be? Are they going to flip the script and do it differently, or are they going to do the same thing and just hope for different results?
Oh, I really hope it's the first. I really hope they change it up a bit, because I don't. You got to establish identity, and you've established it. You have to build a culture. You've built it. You've done it your way now for 4 seasons, and you've gotten, I don't want to say you've peaked out with your mentality, but you've taken it. It's taken you so far, and I hate to go back to like, I really hesitate to do this, but because it's sports related. Do you remember when the Red Wings were so freaking close and they just could not get over the hump? And what do? They go out and get Brandon Shanahan, and it all puts them over the top. And they win the Stanley Cup in 97 after having like the best record in the league in 96 and getting knocked out by the Avs. They went out and made the splash. They got the guy who would fight. They got the guy who would score. They got the guy that just put them over the top. And I feel like this is the offseason. This is the opportunity for Brad Holmes to go out and say, you know what? Yeah, I know we got to fix the all. Yeah, I know we got to fix some stuff in the secondary. Yeah, I know go get a freaking freak edge that I can put on the other side of Hodge. I don't care if it's Trey Hendrickson. I don't care if it's a trade for Max Crosby. Go do it. Spend the money. Get another freak out there so that it doesn't matter who's covering outside, because the quarterback has less than 2 seconds to throw the ball because he's getting attacked from both sides by, thunder and lightning. Let's go. Do it.
Yes. Max Crosby to Detroit. Let's do it. And I know he's not the youngest. I know he's highly paid, but he's all hustle, all production, and he just wants to win ball games. So that's a perfect fit on so many levels. And then the other thing we have to do is spend money to protect your quarterback. Even people that are riding and conducting the golf train would say, if you do not protect, if you do not have time, this quarterback in particular will not be good. So invest. Yes, you've spent draft picks. Yes, you went to the bargain bin. Let's go get a guy that, I don't know, can be a dominant quality center. Let's leave Tate Rat at right guard. Let's leave possibly Penne at right tackle and find a elite left tackle either in free agency or the draft, and we are probably fine with Mahogany and Frazier on the left side. But you need to beef it up, and you're going to have to spend that money to make that happen.
I love it. I love it. Can I offer you a combo? Now, this might be a combo that people haven't really thought about, and maybe you even had time to think about it, but I'm going to offer you a little combo. What if you go out, and we know this team is in a bit of a disarray. It sounds like they're going to be in a transition. What if you go out and you hire Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator from the Ravens, and then you double dip from the Ravens and you go and sign the top center in free agency in Tyler Lindenbaum. You put those two together, you slap them in the Honolulu blue, and you get to work. Thoughts?
I will take Linderbaum. I do not like Todd Monken. He gets a lot of love. I don't know why. He always seems very ho-hum. He's got a running quarterback, yet he wants to make him a passer. He's got other guys that can pass who he's trying to get all gimmicky with. He looks like an old curmudgeon, just weirdo. Maybe he'd get along with Jared Goff well. I don't know him personally, but I just don't like that coordinator. Does nothing for me, even though he has a bit of a track record of production or being a respected coordinator. So I'll take the big nasty center, even though I know I got to pay him. But you can keep that OC in Baltimore, if you ask me, or wherever he needs to go.
The OC isn't gonna. He ain't gonna be in Baltimore. He's gonna be on the free agent market. He may follow John Harbaugh wherever he goes. But to me, I think you hit it on the head. Like how much did he try to jam Lamar Jackson into being a pocket passer when that's just not what got him where he was? And to me, Jared Goff is the pocket passer, and I think that he can get creative again with all the weapons on the outside. I mean, I'm thinking you had Zay Flowers, you got J-Mo, you had I think he would be even happier with the weapons that he had. And to me, I know we're going to talk about in the big, spend the money on the edge. And I'm not saying don't do it, but dude, we realized how much we missed Frank Ragnow halfway through the season to the point where we almost wanted to get him out of retirement. Tyler Lindenbaum, I think, is just a huge, huge signing. He's going to get Pizzade. I get it. But if you shift Penne over to the left, you throw him at center, and then like you said, you've got the three young cats with Mahogany, Miles, Frazier, and Tate Rat. Don't mess with them. And then you get in a serviceable right tackle, and I think that O-line becomes a strength again this season.
It definitely needs to be a strength. So, Chops, we didn't know we were going to go long, even though that's often what we do when we start talking ball.
We always go long, brother.
We're at about 45 plus. We haven't even talked about, I don't know, this. That's the NFL draft, Chops. In case you didn't know, we're picking 17th, which is basically dead smack middle of the first round. Yes, we got a second round pick. No, we don't have a third round pick for now. I don't even know if we have a fourth as well, but I think we're going to be loading up with picks. But before that, you do need to be dynamic in free agency. We talked about some of the positions, the players, whatever it may be. It's still crazy to me that Frank Ragnow retired on us late, then said I'm coming back mid-year, then had an injury, so he didn't come back. And then when people said, hey, any thoughts of Frank maybe coming back next year with a full offseason? Nope, don't see that happen. No, not a chance in hell. So that's either the biggest smokescreen ever or WTHF, whatever. Like, why come back and then we can give you a full offseason to get healthy and get back in the thing, give us 2 years max, and now that's completely off the table? That makes no sense to me. But between free agency, offensive line, getting after the other team's quarterback, like, where are you at in broad strokes, big talk, when it comes to drafting players? Everybody can circle those couple positions, but me and you need to get our heads around who are those premier talents that also fit this culture that we can get in the middle of the first round to help this team.
Yeah, I love it, Ogre. Because I've got it right in front of me, I'm gonna help you out a little bit here, because that's what we do. Our first round pick 17, round 2. There it is. Round 2, pick 50. We have a fourth rounder at 118. We actually have 2 fifths at 155 and 180, 2 sixths, 209 and 213, and then a nice little 7th rounder to round it out. 2. Brother. And I think we might have a comp pick coming too. I don't have that in front of me there. But look, for me, this is easy. This is easier. I don't know how it gets much easier, but to me, you go out and you get the best edge or the best tackle. Like, whatever. Like, if you make your board, and if there's a freak that usually falls, there's always some edge freak that falls. If he's there and you love him, you snag him. And if not, you get the biggest, nastiest O-line tackle to slot in there on the right side, because you get to switch Penne over to the left. And, again, I know the O-line is young, but, dude, we got to build through the trenches. It's our bread and butter. It's what got us here today, and it's so important. So, be lying to you if I was like, oh, yeah, I want to go get Francis from Miami or Spencer Fano from Utah. Like, yeah, those are the names that everybody's going to Google, and it's just going to pop right up. But I'd be lying to you if I told you I did my research, if I had any kind of ranking. But to me, you let the board fall to you, and you just take the biggest, nastiest freak in one of those two positions at 17.
So Caden Proctor is the name that has jumped out to me. I saw him a couple times with Alabama. He's a big, nasty tackle. I don't know if he could play right, left. I haven't done all that research, but he's a big beast. Well, here's my challenge to us, Chops. You're talking about, take this, take that, one or the other. Like, I'm much more in the mode of... I want to drill it down to who are the best 17 players, stack them, and take the best one that's there when we pick. And especially because what are we going to do? We're going to circle tackles and defensive ends before we even know if they're going to make a big trade, a big acquisition. You really got to go in looking at players, people, and stacking them that way rather than doing these positions when that might not even be a need, or the minute you start filling needs is when you miss out on just multi-dimensional positions, elite weapons like Jameer Gibbs. You know what I mean? Like, so we really got to change our mindset, I think. And that's what made me laugh on the radio, where people are like, I know Brad Holmes always tries to take the best football player regardless of position, but I think this year he's going to take an offensive tackle no matter what. It's like, no. He's going to take what he views as the absolute best player regardless of position, and we need to start doing that as a fan base as well. So I understand you want to fill holes, but you don't even know what our holes are yet, and we need to put in the work and do the research and look very closely who are the top 17, 50 football players that fit Detroit, and stack our board that way rather than stack it with a bunch of edges and a bunch of tackles.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, look, you know you've got injury issues in the safety position. We still haven't figured out the secondary, and that is one thing that I just keep banging my head. Like, we signed DJ, that's my DJ. We drafted Terrion. We got Ennis. We got all, we signed Amik. Some of these guys are going to be gone next year. Some of them are going to be back, but we still have never really solved our secondary problems, in my opinion. And then also you got to think about Alex Anzalone out the door. I don't think we're going to pizzay him. Derek Barnes, I know, he seemed to kind of fall off after a lightning fire start. What we got in Jack Campbell, but yeah, there's positions around the board. I think the only thing, we say it the position that you think we're set at is probably one that Brad always opens for business Holmes is taking a look at. So, does he pull I'm gonna flip the script and draft a running back and then turn around and trade D-Money the next day? You never know.
I think you were referencing Demo, but I got you. I think that's a good way to end it, man. It's just like the minute you think you don't know. The fact that you're going to hear everybody say, oh, they're not going to do this and they're going to slow play, is the minute they're going to do that. And the minute you're going to be talking about spend all our money, give all our picks away, go for it this year, is when they're sitting back there going, we're still going to go for it, don't get me wrong, but we're not going back to where we were in 2004, 2008. We don't want to see that type of football team here in Detroit anytime soon. So I not only trust them, but I think that changing our thinking as a fan base, as well as just kind of being open-minded to anything and everything, but expecting a lot. That's a great way to go into not only this offseason, but to get yourself hype about the football team, to know that we got a good core. We've paid that core. We've got all the people you just named off. We're like, well, I don't know about our corners. Why? Because they were all hurt and some of them didn't play so well. Does that mean they can't come back healthy and play well? No. So you can think optimistic, or you can just think, oh, Terrion's just going to be hurt all the time, and Ennis the Menace can never see the field. It's like he hasn't seen the field, but he could be good. We have to wait and see. So I'm going to take that optimistic Detroit Kool-Aid approach.
Drink it in, man.
I'm going to get 2 whole loaves of cornbread for this offseason.
Cornbread!
And I'm going to go in thinking, man, we're about to sign some great football players, have a hell of a draft. Our studs are our studs. Come back upset next year and do the damn thing and go to and win the Super Bowl. Everybody, that's what we got. And we'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Get busy, Brad.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win.
Pack the bag! Start the plane! This game is over! It is over! What a comeback by the Lions!
Drink it in, man.